Hi everyone, it's Donna, your homegrown gourmet, part of the Gourmet or Good Enough team with my sister Diane. Today I'm taking advantage of some cantaloupe that I have in the garden, and I'm going to make a quick bread out of the cantaloupe. It's very similar to making a banana bread or zucchini bread, but we're just going to flavor it with the pureed cantaloupe. So let's get started. In a large bowl, I'm going to beat 3 room temperature eggs and 1 cup of vegetable oil, and I'm using canola oil, 2 cups of white granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And mix this up. This is 2 cups of pureed cantaloupe, and all I did was put it in a blender and mix it up. You just want to mix it so that the sugar is all incorporated and the batter is smooth. And right now I'm preheating my oven to 325. I feel a little grittiness on the bottom, so I'm going to beat this a little bit. Okay. All right, that's good. A little chunk that didn't quite puree. Okay, feels real good. Now we're on to the dry ingredients. I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and to that I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon baking powder, and then I have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and ½ teaspoon of ginger. Mix that in. So I'm going to whisk this all together. And then we're going to add it to our cantaloupe mixture. Okay, now I'm going to store the dry ingredients into the wet. You can smell the ginger. I can smell the cantaloupe is nice and sweet. And even a little bit of the cinnamon and vanilla. These are all things that go really well together. So I think this is going to be a really good quick bread. I have already sprayed my 8-inch loaf pans, and we're just going to divide the batter between the two and bake for about an hour. Okay, ready to fill. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Usually when you use this type of loaf pan, you wanna go about 3/4, fill it about 3/4 of the way. And if you know me, I always try to get every last drop. Okay, so this recipe is perfect just like this, but since I'm going to be entering one into the state fair, I want to take it up a notch. And I went ahead and made some crumb topping that you might use on a fruit pie. And let me tell you what's in the crumb topping. So I have 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cup light brown sugar, 1/3 cup of regular granulated sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1½ sticks of unsalted butter. And I mixed it up till it was crumbly, cold butter. Now I'm just going to sprinkle some on the top, and we'll see what happens when we bake it. I'm not going to use all of it, obviously, that'll be way too much. I'll save half of it, because like I said, I have a lot of cantaloupe in the garden, so I might be making these for the freezer. All right, in the oven they go, 325. For about an hour or till a toothpick or a cake tester inserted comes out clean. Okay, I just took my cantaloupe bread out of the oven about 15 minutes ago, and I just loosened them from their pan, and they look pretty good. I'm going to let them cool completely for about an hour, and then we'll go ahead and cut one in half and see what we think. But they smell absolutely delicious, so I don't know how it's going to be for judging, but the taste I think is going to be divine.